Fred Smooth.
Had it the whole way. Washington over Seattle tonight, 17-15 here on Monday Night Football at FedEx Field on Russell Wilson's birthday. Boy, it was almost a happy one for him, wasn't it, Fred Smoot?
Hell of a present that we gave Russell in his homecoming. You know, here in Virginia, boy.
Yeah.
Thank you for coming home, Russell. I've been eating turkey all week. Thank you for serving us some fried Seahawk. It tastes so good with a side of mashed potatoes, Jackson.
Unbelievable. Listen, this is a game statistically. If you looked at it, you didn't watch it, you'd be like, what in the heck happened here? Washington just didn't want to put Seattle away to the point where they almost lost the game, Fred, but they didn't.
But
and that's
what?
all you can say at this time of year. Survive in advance. Survive in advance.
But, Jack, you know what? They say you never miss something until you don't have it.
Yeah.
We take kickers for granted.
Yes, we do.
Hey, you know what?
Poor Joey Sly.
Hey, listen to me. We say team meeting at the meeting for dinner.
Yeah.
Nobody invite the kicker.
Right.
Nobody show the kicker love. But guess what? The kicker go out, the whole game plan changes. That's why I say the best teams win games, not the best players.
Yeah, so that was an interesting development tonight. Joey Sly getting hurt at the end of the first half on the PAT return by the Seahawks for two. And that was crazy. You played your fourth center tonight, Keith Ishmael, who actually played pretty well. I don't know how much responsibility he had for line calls and stuff like that.
He didn't have much. Sharon did a lot of the calling.
Yeah.
And Flowers did a lot of the calling.
So that's good, But, overall, they ran the ball effectively, did a lot of good things, except get the ball in the end zone when they needed to. And obviously that review at the end here, it could have been an easy, we're sitting here smoking cigars and drinking cognac here.
Yes, we was.
Getting ready, and instead we're sweating it out, and Kendall Fuller obviously makes what could end up being, we always go, what are these game-changing plays of the season? You could probably put this one in that category if this team is able to scratch back in this. And now at 5-6, they're the 7 seed in the NFC, whatever that means today on November 29th, almost November 30th.
It's better than last week. And guess what? That's the approach this team been taking. 1 week at a time, one game at a time. Let's win this one-game Super Bowl every week, one game at a time. And you gotta give it to them. They've won as a group. It's nobody that stuck out. Right. Heineke, he's playing great. He's playing good. Not great. Everybody's just putting their 2 cents in every year. This guy makes a play. This guy makes a play. It's a team effort, and that's what you want to see. I told you a couple of weeks ago. I remember my rookie year. We had the game against the Panthers. Everything turned around. It looks like the momentum is going with this team also. They're not just blowing teams out, but they're doing what it takes to win the ball game. And guess what? This is kind of coach's M.O. He wins the ugly games. But guess what? Baltimore Ravens been winning the ugly games for the last 2 decades. It's an important key and good for these players to learn right now.
All right, we're brought to you by Geico. Whether you rent or own, Geico makes it easy to bundle home and auto insurance. Visit geico.com to see how much you could save. We'll get in the locker room here in a little bit with Julie Donaldson and D'Angelo Hall. I want to talk to you about a couple plays because I have the great side experience here to watch the games with you and D. Hall up here and to see what you're the disappointed parents when interceptions are dropped. But let's just talk about the play that it could have been disastrous in 2 plays because there was 2 of them. The onside kick at the end. Yeah. There was a lot of guys at number 50 out there.
That shouldn't be out there. 59. If I don't even know your number.
57 or 51 rather. Mayo. I don't even know who Knuskis
He was allergic to the ball. I seen him duck and run from the ball. I'm sorry. If you're on Hands team and the ball gets near you, secure the ball. Like you said, Jack, we tried to get this game away. And let's talk about that touchdown play at the end of the game. I'm sorry. DBs, you got to get some depth. You want to play that going downhill. You want to get so much depth that you play it going forward, not running backwards with the rest of those guys.
Yeah, I'll be interested to hear about that one. But it looked like DeShazer Everett was way too shallow. He had just come into the game 2 plays before that for injured Landon Collins. And look at it, Landon Collins is having himself a night, too. For this Washington defense.
It was the game of the box safety. Old 1985 Steve Atwater.
Yeah.
On their side, they had one Jamal Adams, who I'm sorry, he played the run better than most linebackers I've seen tonight. All right, and then you got on our side Landon Collins. These guys excel when you put them close to the line. And there ain't nothing wrong with that. And I'm glad the coaching staff finally got across the Landon. Hey, do you want to make plays or what?
Because you want to have fun? You want to make plays? Do you want to win?
Do you want to win? And guess what? He said yes. And this when things start to happen, and now he's making plays, feeling like he's a part of the team. But I think he got injured tonight, and we also lost J.D. McKissick, who could, that could be costly right there.
Yeah, I think that's probably a concussion. Hopefully it's not a neck injury. He was definitely not sure where he was when they carted him off tonight. So we'll see how that went. Slide. They called it a groin at the time. Again, or hamstring rather, and that's not good for a kicker. And again, you have a short week, and you got to go out to Vegas. So a lot of things moving parts here. I don't know where you find a kicker this late in the year.
Do we call blue it?
No. 301. Maybe you do. I don't know.
Why not call blue it?
We'll get to calls in a little bit. 301-230-0980, 301-230-0980. I want to remind you we're on the YouTube. In addition to being on your radio set or on your app, wherever you're listening, you can watch us on the YouTube as Fred and I sit out here as FedEx Field kind of clears out. A lot of people are kind of hanging out. They're watching the post-game press conference with Ron Rivera right now. Then when Ron's done with this part of the podium, he'll go talk to Julie, and we'll bring that to you live. But, wow, what a crazy game. I mean, it just, again, statistically dominant, but scoreboard
not
dominant.
Yep.
But at the end of the night, like you saw the crazy results yesterday, the Giants beating the Eagles.
Yep.
In how
the Cowboys steady going downhill.
Losing.
The milk has gone spoiled.
Right. I mean, you just want to win, and this is like, I guess, maybe not a coach's dream, but in a way, like, look, if you were emphasizing things and you saw some things that ticked you off, wouldn't this be a great week for Ron Rivera? We won, but I can also get on these guys.
I can weaponize this.
Yeah.
I can weaponize this film. I know we all feel good, but you know what, guys? We could have easily lost this game with stupid mistakes. I can weaponize this game in a short week to let them know we feel good, we shouldn't feel great. And that's what you do as a parent, right? When if my kid walks in the house with a smile on their face, I'm like, wipe that smile off your face. Turn that smile upside down. That B feel good to you, but A's is going to get you a scholarship, not the B's, and that's how you can weaponize this game plan. We won, but we got a long way to go, and we got some people that need to step up because when you lose a JD, now you've been wanting to see your boy Jared.
I know.
You know what?
But this was such a good night for McKissick. The 2 touchdowns, and this is one of the teams he played for with Seattle. Had to feel great on Monday night, doing all these great things, and then bam, fourth quarter on that drive gets knocked out. And it's a shame. I mean, that's a tough one to replace because he's so different, right? His skill set is so different than all the other guys.
He's the receiver out the bunch.
Yeah.
Let's just say it. He's the guy that can go out there, catch plays, and he has a feel for the game. He knows how to slip out late and get open. He has the old man traits. That's how you know somebody's a veteran. Now, is he going to go to Jared and get that ring and get married?
That's your next option, obviously. I mean, that's what you would have to do.
He went to Jared.
Well, we saw more workload tonight for Antonio Gibson we've ever seen. I mean, Antonio Gibson broke a record, or a high, had a career high in carries tonight. He also was very involved in the passing game, more so than he has in several weeks. I mean, he had 29 carries tonight, 111 yards. Could have had more if that 137-yarder hadn't gotten called back. That was a tough one. Caught the ball 7 times, was targeted 7 times. So you're talking about a guy tonight, that had 36 touches. That's Antonio Gibson.
That's why you want to use him. And
he looked good.
I have to say he looked healthy.
Yeah,
that's the key. He looked healthy, and you want to make sure you get a Swiss Army knife the ball different type of ways. He can do whatever you ask him to do. And let's think about this. Every time this kid has played on primetime TV, he has his biggest games. Like last year against the Cowboys, biggest games on primetime TV. Maybe we need to play more primetime games to get the best out of AG.
Well, look, he got out of bounds the wrong time, unfortunately. That was much like the game a week ago against the Panthers. That was an issue. But
learning curve.
Yeah, but overall, I mean, very good again from him. Look, I like that they finally wanted to go for it in short yardage late, and they ended up, throwing and getting that, because of the delay of game, they had to move it back. They ended up passing for it. But that 3rd and 1. That's a tough thing to do to the rookie from PG County. Hey, can you come out here? I know you haven't touched the ball all game, Jared, but we're going to give you the ball on 3rd and 1. Go jam it up in there, pal.
No, that ain't tough. That's Jared's job. That's Jared's job. He a running back, right? Well, your job is to run. So if I don't care if you ain't played in 6 years, right. If I give you the rock, you need to get me 1 yard. You need to get me 1 yard, and I'm sure they'll work on that short yardage this week. And that's his specialty. He's a short yardage back. He's the type guy that can get behind some offensive linemen, hide behind them, and surge and push the ball forward. So, no, I don't think it was pressure. I think it was me asking you to do your job.
Well, I don't even have pressure, but it's just like you're cold. You know what I mean? You don't have a feel for the game and the speed of the game.
Did you just say you cold, Jack?
You know what I mean? Cold as in, like, I haven't run full speed all night.
You want me to give you a binky, too? What you want me to burp you, too? Hey, listen, you cold, the fans cold, everybody cold, Jack. Hey, that bench over there where he was sitting there most of the game is heated.
Well,
I'm going to tell you
actually, he has to stand next Backs coach doesn't need to be ready.
It's
ready.
heated.
All right.
Don't nobody want to hear about you being cold. At the end of the day, we out here playing football, and against the elements, we always got to go against the elements.
All right. Defensively, this was a very good night. Save that last drive perhaps from them. And look, Russell Wilson's, I think we all understand he's not himself. It's a pretty inaccurate throws tonight.
It's that hand.
And he was trying to get rid of the ball quicker than normal, it seemed like.
He didn't
Didn't really run much, although I think that part of that was Washington's defense did a good job of taking away. Like, they didn't bite.
They didn't rush up the field.
They didn't rush up field.
Yeah.
They really were disciplined with the pass rush tonight and made it tough on him, which was big time. But at the same time, this would have been a devastating loss.
Oh, no.
I mean, this would have been one of those losses. I mean, oh, my God.
With
if you lost
4
this
minutes left, Seattle had ran 35 plays. Do you know
right.
that?
And they had 16 yards in the fourth quarter until that last drive, I want to say, too.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
35. Let me tell you something.
Crazy.
The stat book is a liar.
Yeah.
The stat book don't always call who affected the game. Let me tell you something. One, that defensive line. They're not going to have a lot of sacks in the sack book, but they was disruptive all day.
How about Shaka Tony, though?
Shaka Tony coming out there making plays. But, I got to give my love to one John. Y'all call him Jonathan Allen. I call him John Wick. Because when you send John Wick after somebody, they are over with. They are cancer. And I call him John Wick because he bring the pain with him. And pain showed up. And like I said, it won't show up in the stat book. But, hey, if you look at, they made Russell uncomfortable. And this is like the 4th week in a row that they've done that with quarterbacks. If we keep disrupting people with them boys that smell like bacon, it's breakfast time.
Yeah, we'll talk about the Raiders game a little bit later on, but that's going to be like the Raiders looked like they found a little bit of something this past Thursday against the Cowboys. They get a little extra time. So we'll look into that a little bit later on. But, again, this game tonight, you had to have it with everything that broke in the division the way it did, and to get to the one game of, below 500 suddenly with a 3-game win streak coming out of the bye. This was the portion of the schedule that, everybody looked at, Fred, like, I don't know. Where are you going to find the wins?
Quarterback row.
It was. Right.
I said you can't run from these quarterbacks, though. They in the league, you got to play them. And then I keep telling people, let's do the numbers. 8 billion people on this blue planet we call Earth, and we have yet to find 32 great quarterbacks at one time. It's hard to find a great quarterback. So when you play these guys, you got to look how you played Aaron Rodgers. You played him pretty good. Look how you played Russell Wilson. Worst game of the year. Look how you played these quarterbacks that that everybody said we weren't going to have a chance. I always tell people, any given Sunday, my defensive line can show up, my defensive backs can show up. We all can show up at the same time and change the game. And that's what I said about this team. They're winning as a team right now. I can call them that now. They are a team.
No doubt. All right, we will hear hopefully shortly from Ron Rivera with Julie Donaldson down in the locker room. And also, there's some big things that have to happen between now and Sunday beyond just, finding out who's available. But, you might need to go out and find players and find a kicker.
Oh, no. Blew it. You know what I'm saying?
Most importantly. You might have to find a kicker most importantly. Before the week's up.
You got to bring another back in.
Otherwise you're going to have Tress Way start to learn how to kick field goals this week? I don't know.
Tress got a lot on his plate.
Yeah, let's go to Julie Donaldson down in the locker room. Julie?
Coach, you tell me what's up. 3 straight wins since coming back from that bye week. We talk about winning back FedEx Field, Monday Night Football. Typically, fans come into a game like this, they expect a loss. You are out there coming in from the huddle saying, let's go, let's go. How good does this win feel, and what's been the biggest difference?
Well, it felt very good. It really does. And it does because of the guys, the way they work and how hard things have been for them, and they're coming together. And so, to me, that's a big deal. I think the big thing right now is just the way they communicate with each other, the way they've kind of got a feel for what it takes as a unit. And it's one of those things that just builds over time.
Nobody out there could have had a chip shot there at the end of the game to close it out?
No, unfortunately not. Believe me, I thought I could do it. But no, unfortunately not. We thought about it, but with Tress, I hate to put him in that kind of a situation that could turn sour.
We saw him warming up on the sideline, although we know he's a lefty. You have to have someone be able to hold the ball there for that. But we talk about closing out games. So look at the stat sheet. This should have been an absolute blowout. What do you think that next progression is for your guys?
It's to be able to put teams away. And again, it's part of a growing process. And the hard part is this still is a very good football team. They're struggling a little bit, but that's still a very good Seattle team led by some very good players. I mean, Bobby Wagner on defense is one that I think one of the really great linebackers in this league. And Russell Wilson, his resume speaks for itself.
Let me ask you about your offense. They had the ball for over 41 minutes. I mean, that's probably the best defense you might have as well. They play pretty dominant as well in this game. What have you seen from Taylor and his growth? And still using guys that have been backups in these positions.
Well, the guys that really have filled in on the offensive line, they work well together. They've played. They've been in these situations. Last year, two of the guys started for us, and Cornelius Lucas and Wes Schweitzer. So we know what they're capable of. So just knowing that we got guys like that can step up, I think gives Taylor a little confidence as far as being protected. We've got a good group of playmakers. So really it's about distributing the ball, and that's what Taylor's been able to do is distribute the ball well.
This is the defense we've been kind of waiting for. They forced 6 straight punts. That's the longest streak in the NFL so far this season. Being a defensive guy, what is it you're finally seeing from these guys? I know you say communication and playing together, but what's really getting them on that next level?
No, I really do believe that because if you look at the one thing, we gave the big pass early in the game, and it was a miscommunications. They were running crossers, and we had made a call. We missed the call, and the receiver was wide open. We got to the sideline. They talked about it. They got it straightened out, and then they came out and played very resilient at that point.
Raiders are up next, a trip to Vegas. They have a little extra time to prepare. What's this week going to be like for you? Well,
it's really be about getting the guys back, so we'll be very smart with them. They'll be off tomorrow. We'll bring them in. We'll do some light stuff on Wednesday, and then we'll focus in on Thursday, but the most important day will be Friday for us. All
right, Coach, congratulations. 3 straight wins. On a roll. Everybody's already trying to say that word playoffs. Do you whisper it yet?
Not yet.
Okay. Not yet. That's what Coach Rivera says. Thanks so much, Coach. We appreciate your time. Let's send it back to Fred Smoot, Scott Jackson.
All right. Thank you, Julie. There you go. Ron Rivera.
Yep.
Not gonna whisper that word. Last year he was aggressive about it early, but this year he's not. Look, they know what's at stake, and they know the standings, whether they want to talk about it or not. I mean,
well, no coach will want to talk about it now. Come on, we're 5-6. All right, don't talk like we're 9-2 or something. All right, we're 5-6.
Yeah.
The guys are getting better week in and week out. We're beating some quality teams. We're beating some quality quarterbacks. All right, so keep on going. I'm with Coach. Just keep on gaining momentum. Keep on making plays, and players keep on stepping up, no matter what it is. We did it at home. Now we got to go back on the road with a Raiders team that looked pretty good against the Cowboys.
Sure.
But we know something about Derek Carr. He kind of Medusa. He can turn around sometime and be ugly and then turn back around and be beautiful. So we seen the beautiful Derek Carr this week. Who are we going to see when we play?
Good question. All right, we're going to take a timeout. We'll come back. We'll get to the numbers. 301-230-0980. Washington beats Seattle 17-15. You're listening to the Washington football team.
The Team 980 and the Odyssey.
Presented by Geico. Great news, there's a quick way you could save money. Switch to Geico. Visit geico.com, and in 15 minutes, you could save 15% or more on car insurance.
So this is the jersey I received on January 2nd, 2020, when I was introduced as the new head coach of the Washington football team. It was something I'm very proud of because of the opportunity that I was given and the opportunity to go out and do the things that we've done so far as we try to build this team and head it in the right direction.
We love our house. Been here for years.
Yeah, but there's an animal in the attic. At least Geico makes bundling our home and car insurance easy.
We save a lot.
For bundling made easy, go to geico.com.
All right, here we go. Miller in motion. Wait, is that a baby on the field?
It looks like it, Craig.
And the defensive linemen are playing peekaboo. I've never seen anything like that before.
Harris now appears to be burping the baby.
That's a great moment right there.
Ref going to the rule book here.
Well, wait a minute. Harris is off to the races.
We don't need any more trick plays.
Touchdown!
But we could all use more ways to save.
Are you kidding me?
It's going to be a long bus ride home for the defense.
Switch to Geico for more ways to save.
Here, Washington beats Seattle 17-15. Scott Jackson and Fred Smoot. Julie Donaldson standing by with quarterback Taylor Heineke. Julie?
Taylor, you got your Bud Light shirt on. You certainly deserve a few Bud Lights after this one. Monday Night Football. We keep talking about, like, how are you going to go? How's it going to be? What are we going to get from Taylor? That was the storyline coming into this one. What was different for you on Monday night?
Nothing really. I feel like, last year's Tampa playoff game, and then, Thursday night's Giants game. We've been in primetime games, and we've played well in them. So I wasn't worried about the guys or myself, and we just went out there and executed the game plan.
You had that to 8 different receivers. What's it like spreading the ball around like that and getting in rhythm and chemistry with so many different guys on offense?
That's the beautiful part about this offense is, everyone can get the ball any play, or any play, yeah. And, we have a lot of confidence in all those guys, and everyone's stepped up throughout the year. So, when Logan went down, we didn't feel like we had to shy away from tight ends. Ricky came in, and then Bates came in, and DeAndre Carter. So, we feel very comfortable with all those guys, and it's a good thing that we spread the ball around and not just force it to Terry.
What was it like having Logan back and Curtis to be able to put that out there?
It's huge. Again, Logan's a big body. He's a good football player, so you're very comfortable with him in the huddle. And then Curtis, again, not many people have seen much of him this year, but, when you throw him that bubble route and you see his speed and his energy, it's an exciting deal. So hopefully he can keep playing, and, we're excited that they're both back.
Antonio Gibson, what a game for him, over 100 yards on the ground. The last time he did that was Thanksgiving Day last year against the Cowboys. He seems to like the bright lights as well. What's it been like being able to rely so much on the run game as of late?
Yeah, the one group that hasn't gotten a lot of, talk about, you haven't talked about a lot, is the offensive line. They've done a great job, not just protecting me, but, running the ball in the last 3 weeks against Tampa, against Carolina, and then tonight. So it all starts with those guys up front, but, AG was running it hard and mean tonight, and JD as well. So, great game from both of them.
What goes through your mind when you see Wes Schweitzer goes down? You're like, this is now my third center.
Fourth center now. It was our 4th-string center coming in, and again, Coach Masco does a great job of getting those guys prepared. So again, just one of those guys that, Keith came in, did a great job, and we ran the ball a lot with him in there, and he was just mauling guys. So it's really good to see. The group up there is great.
You're able to check in on J.D. McKissick. What a game for him. Second career 2-touchdown game against his former team. But that scary hit at the end. Any news on how he's doing?
Yeah, I just saw him in the locker room. He's moving around, so that's always great news. It was kind of scary there at first. But a guy like J.D., he's a big part of our team and huge in our locker room. So, it was scary there at first. But again, we saw him out there. He's cracking some jokes in the locker room. So hopefully he's fine.
So you can't kick?
No, I cannot kick.
We were thinking it's just a chip shot. Come on, somebody's got to be able to make that to close it out.
Yeah, that would have been nice. That would have been a lot less stressful there at the end. But, hopefully we get Joey back next week.
Congratulations, 3 in a row. We now head to Vegas, looking to make it 4 in a row. And then do we whisper the word playoffs?
No, we never whisper the word playoffs.
Take care of business. Took care of tonight on Monday Night Football. We look forward to seeing you down in Vegas. Thank you so much, Taylor Heineke. Let's send it back to Fred Smoot and Scott Jackson.
Julie, and there you go from Taylor Heineke, a game that Taylor went 27-35, 223 yards, a touchdown, and an interception in the Washington win. And he mentioned the offensive line tonight, Fred. I mean, they ran the ball for 152 yards and 43 carries, 3.5 a crack, including the McKissick touchdown run. So very good night for them, playing with their 4th center of the season. And that's just, that's not a stat you want to have.
Hey, first of all, we got to be honest. The big bacon smelling uglies on that offensive line have been the most consistent. The MVP of this year
sure.
has everything to do with that outline group.
No doubt. The numbers, by the way, brought to you by Novak, keeping life bright. Washington, 27 first downs to 10 from Seattle. Third down conversions, 5 of 13 for Washington. Seattle just 4 of 12. 79 plays to 45 plays in this game. 371 to 267. Yet it was a nail-biter. I mean, that's what's the nutty part about it. That's, I'm sure, the thing the coaches are going to talk to these guys about this week. 6 penalties for Seattle, 51 yards, 4 on Washington, 38 yards. Time of possession, 41-40 and 18-20. The totals there, as you said, this is like the biggest. The final stat book is the lie book tonight in terms of.
It's all a lie.
Doesn't tell even close the entire story. And Kendall Fuller really saves the night with the pickoff in the end zone on the 2-point play. Otherwise, who knows? You go to overtime at that point. Are you feeling good about overtime?
No, I'm not feeling good.
No.
You never feel good about overtime. But what I feel good about was my boys on the back end talking, working together. DK Metcalf had one catch. Now, that says everything.
Yeah.
I don't know what's going on with him and Russell right now. They don't look to be on the same page.
No, they don't.
And they don't look to be getting along.
No, I'm with you. There was one play. It was a third down. I want to say it was in the third quarter where DK came out of his break and took your guy, Bill Jackson, just threw him to the ground. Threw him to the ground, and it was like a 3rd and 4 or 3rd and 5, and Russell Wilson had already passed the ball to his left side to one of these no-name receivers. It wasn't even Lockett, and was incomplete, kind of rushed it. Never even thought about Metcalf, and I'm thinking 3rd and 5, I got Metcalf or I've got Lockett, and he went to number 1. He's not the number 1 receiver, but the guy number 1 on their team.
Equich. Equich.
Yeah, not quite the same level of player.
He can play. He
can play, but he's
a
not
hybrid running back, wide receiver. And I think Russell just went to where the defense told him to go.
Yeah.
And I think Bill Jackson did get kicked out the club. Now, I was his security walking him in the club, but DK kicked him out the club. But if the plays as a corner, we say, I'm glad he didn't look this way. Because it could have been, I could have got burnt.
Yeah, D. Eskridge is the guy that he went to on that play. But, yeah, it was an interesting decision. And, hey, worked out well for Washington. But it was definitely a frustrating night for DK Metcalf. I know they were showing a lot on Monday night when I'd look up and watch their monitor. They got a lot of shots of him on the sideline with that helmet off, not happy. We are on the YouTube. If you want to check us out there on Washington football, we'll get to some phone calls once we get wrapped up in the locker room at 301-230-0980. Injuries are certainly a big part of this one, which is unfortunate. You heard some good news out of the Taylor Heineke interview. They're saying that J.D. McKissick was walking around, cracking jokes. You know how this goes. They're still going to put him in the protocol, I'm
he's
sure.
He's still going to go in the protocol.
Yeah, we'll see how he feels tomorrow.
But it says a lot that he's walking around.
Was no neck injury, obviously. Nothing spinal, right.
And then just a smile on his face. Because usually when we ain't feeling good, that smile could turn upside down.
Well, if it was serious, he'd be in the hospital, or he wouldn't be walking around the locker room. So that's very good news. And, again, hopefully the news will be good for Joey Sly. Because, look, Joey Sly had been terrific.
Oh, no, it's his job.
Then he gets the extra point block. By the way, the Seattle guy made a great jump on the play, and it was one of those rare, and I mean rare moments where the guy who blocks the kick actually picks it up and takes it the distance. And here is the crazy statistic on that play that happened there. The play there was the first time – in conversion, since the NFL allowed the defense to return to PAT for points in 2015, he became the first player to block, recover, and score on the same play.
Yeah,
so that's the first time that has happened in the NFL since they went to this thing.
Yep, trifecta. That's what we call it. He hit a trifecta. In hockey, they called it what do they call it in hockey?
The hat trick.
A hat trick.
We'll have more interviews coming up in the locker room here in a little bit from Julie Donaldson. Let's get to the injury report while I get him in here. Sponsored by Innova, the official health system of the Washington football team. Learn more at innova.org. We mentioned J.D. McKissick already. Looks like probably a concussion. Hopefully not a bad one where he can get back on the field. We'll see. Obviously, got to be very careful.
Good. I'm worried about the kicker situation because we cannot go on the road to Las Vegas without a kicker going for 2 every time and scared to get these 3 points sometime. I don't know because we just finally fixed the kicking woes that we've had all year, and here we go again because that hamstring is not going to heal in no 4 or 5 days.
Hamstring for Joey Sly. Wes Schweitzer, the center, who was also really a guard, left the game with an ankle injury. That meant Keith Ishmael became the 4th center to have to play significant time this season for this team. And the other injury of note, I'm missing somebody. Who am I missing? I think I'm missing of course, the news today, Sam Cosmi was put on the IR as well, which is separated from today's game. But that was the other injury note I had for you. So there you go. Yep. So those are the big injuries. Brought to you by Innova, the official health system of the Washington football team. Learn more at innova.org. And, again, we'll have more coming up here shortly from the locker room. All right, so you come out of this one with the win. You look at the way the defense played. And this is, I would say, Fred, the 2 games prior to the bye week, this defense was kind of coming around, right?
Yep.
The game at Green Bay,
and
was
then
the game at Denver.
Yep.
The offense didn't do them any favors by not converting in the red zone. But so this is kind of a 5-week, real improvement after that second half against the Chiefs here at FedEx Field, which is horrific after playing a really good first half.
Yep.
It's been kind of this 5-week turnaround, and you heard Ron Rivera say they did kind of mix up some of the things they were doing up front. And during the game, I know D. Hall was talking about this, how they were, they're moving the linemen around a little bit with the D-line.
They was running games on the defensive line.
Yeah.
And I think the defensive coordinator, Jack Del Rio, understood, okay, so my 2 top horses gone, I'm going to have to beat people with the pen. And using that imagination has set them up to make plays. Well, how about while you got those horses, you use that imagination then, too. I think sometimes coaches lean on talent too much when this league, the talent is equal. I'm sorry. The coaches separate teams. The game plan separates teams. The players, we just go out and execute. We are pawns. We are the pieces on the chessboard. It's the chess players who dictate the game.
What do you think of Jamin Davis tonight? Made some really good
Yes,
plays.
I said they let him off the leash. I see him getting more and more comfortable week in and week out. And I was waiting on that first big splash play for him to make. And I felt like that when he caught the dude, when I almost thought he horse-collared the dude, but he didn't horse-collar the dude. But just to see him aggressive and to see him not thinking, just playing, feels good to me.
All right, we'll take a timeout. We'll come back, hopefully more for the locker room. We'll get to offensive, defensive players of the game as well. Washington holds off the Seahawks tonight, 17-15. This is the Washington Football Team Radio Network.
Seahawk meat. Well, I know you're not a vegetarian because evidently you like goat's meat. You picked off Pat Mahomes, a young goat, and Tom Brady, a pretty old goat. So, you like goat meat?
I was wondering. I'm like, where are you going with this?
Where is he going with this? No. So take us.
Welcome to the show, Bobby.
I'm just saying, one is the young goat, one is the old goat. You got to feel good about that as a cornerback, and you've been playing corner and safety. Take us through those plays of picking off both of those guys.
Patty Mahomes, he made an air throw. He was just looking to get out of
get the ball out,
get away from the pressure. It was 4th down, so he had to throw the football. With Tom, he thought he had that over route. He thought the receiver was going to outrun 55 Cole.
Cole
did a great job packing back and just packing for that over, and he just kind of slightly overthrew him. And I'm coming too, so just threw it right to me.
Huh?
Another round. What a night. I'm gonna head home now.
Make sure you call for a ride. That's what we're doing.
I'm fine. I can drive. I'm fine.
Just calm down. Come on, man. None of us are fit to drive. How about we get you a safe ride home, all right?
It's about grit. It's about guts. It's about winning. It's about where we come from and what we can be. It's about DC and celebrating our football team. With the Washington Football Team scratcher from the DC Lottery.
That's all. Man, you were making plays out there. The whole defense was making plays. What did you guys see that kind of gave you to let you guys know that you were going to come out here and dominate this opponent like this?
We just had a great game plan, and we trusted one another. We kept each other accountable, and then practice, we just kept on, pushing each other to the limit. And from there, it reflected on the field.
Now, I'm not going to be the one to say this, but, no Chase Young, no Montez Sweat. Does not having those 2 guys out there, do you sense more pressure and you guys just want to go out there and play even harder? I know fans don't take this the wrong way, because they're going to say, no, you should always play hard. No, you always play hard. But do you feel yourself with a little bit more of a sense of urgency to go make a play because you don't have those 2 impactful players on your defense?
Those 2 are big impact players on our team, but at the same time, it's the next person up. And when a person goes down like myself, you got to just make those plays accountable and make those things happen. And then for us as a defense, bro, it's just knowing that everybody knows to do their job and we're going to do it fast because when those 2 come back, or when Taz come back and Chase come back next year, it's going to be another notch.
No doubt. All right, so, Russell Wilson, DK Metcalf, you've been in this league for a while. You know what those guys bring to the table. I mean, how were you able, you know what I mean? How was this defense able to really bother Russell Wilson? I mean, you guys made Russell Wilson not look like Russell Wilson, and we know playing against that guy how hard that is.
I started with our front seven. I mean, our front four. They did a great job. They put pressure in his face, and then our back end just did our job. We knew the route concepts. We played fast. Our corner stayed on top and made sure we made those plays, and that's what we did.
Hey, Landon won't say this, but I'm gonna say this. Jamal Adams, where you at, baby? We in the house right now. Landon Collins balling out there.
No, man,
balling out there. I know, but I'm gonna say it for you, man. Yeah, he did. Back up to you. Fred and Scott, man, back up to you guys.
By the way, Landon's clean as a whistle.
It's good to hear.
They say he casket clean in there. You know, when they casket clean, that's different, Jay.
All right, let's get to the defensive player of the game. But before we do that, we need to pause 10 seconds for station identification. This is the Washington Football Team Radio Network.
This is the official home of the Washington Football Team. WTEM Washington, WJFK HD2 Manassas, the Team 980, an Odyssey station.
All right, 17-15 win over the Seahawks. You just heard from Landon Collins. Fred, I'm making an executive decision.
Yep.
He and Kendall Fuller are your co-defensive player of the games. Brought to you by the Virginia Department of Health, the Washington Football Team tackling COVID together. Kendall Fuller, a pick and 3 pass defense. And obviously Landon Collins is all over the place tonight. And let's go back down to our playmaker, D'Angelo Hall. D-Hall?
I'm joined down here by Antonio Gibson. I mean, man, got a lot of toast today. How did it feel? How does the body feel right now?
Tired, get in the treatment room tomorrow, take care of the body, but, that's what it's about, pounding, man, and, seeing the defeat on the defense at the end of the game.
I bet you definitely feel a lot better, though, getting out of this thing with a win. What does it mean to win 3 in a row?
Just shows the fight that we got back against the wall, down in the hole. We're gonna continue to fight, and I feel like that's what this team is all about. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Now, AG, we saw sheer dominance from this football team. Yet the scoreboard still kind of kept Seattle in the game, right? How were you guys able to eat up so much of the time of possession, so much success on the ground? Was that just part of the game plan, or did you guys come out here and just hit them in the mouth that first play and say, "Hey guys, this is what we gonna do"?
I wouldn't say it was part of the game plan, but every job we start, we always say one play at a time, and it's no rush to get down there. And, that's what we've been doing, and it's been working.
You can do it, catching it out the backfield. Ran for 100 yards, second 100-yard game. I think since Dallas, right? Thanksgiving. How did that feel to be able to put this offense on your back? Taylor made some plays, but it was because this offensive line was able to move guys. You were able to continue to pick up those first downs, get in the end zone. How did it feel?
It felt good to finally get in the rhythm. The O-line was dominating up front, and just following the right reason. Trusting my tracks and hitting the hole hard. Lowering my shoulder pads was something I was trying to work on. There's a few times I could have did it, but I feel like I did a better job this game lowering my shoulder pads. Just got to continue and improve on that.
Yeah. Okay. You talk about lowering your shoulder pads. You had a learning lesson out there, right? I saw who was it? Big Bobby Wagner one time. I think he caught you, and I said, "Hey, AG got to get them pads down. He's too big to be running with them pads up." But that's what the league will do. You run up on other guys as big as you, and man, great game out there though, man. Can't wait to see you in Vegas, bro.
Appreciate it, man, for sure.
Back up to you, Fred and Scott.
With our offensive player of the game, Antonio Gibson, 111 yards rushing, 35 in the receiving category on 7 catches, and again, 29 carries, a career high for him. Offensive player of the game brought to you by Eureka, proud partner of the Washington Football Team. Visit eurekavs.com. So
that's what you want as a back.
Done.
If you're a back, the more you feed me the ball, feed me, Seymour, feed me. I know that movie might be a little bit too old for y'all people out there, but me and Jack used to watch Little Shop of Horror all the time. And like when you feed them, they just get bigger and they just get stronger. You got to realize AG was a wide receiver / running back in college. He's not a guy that didn't had the ball handed to him 26, 27, right. 28 times. Now he's showing you, if you hand it to me, I can wear people down as the third and fourth quarter comes, and that allows us to keep a Russell Wilson off the field with the offensive line. The offensive line was the best defense that we had out there today.
So, just a little while ago, I'm reading some of these comments from some of the players.
I didn't know you could read.
I didn't either. Oh. I can't with my glasses off, but I'm kind of squinting. You might notice.
I'm just saying,
notice I'm squinting heavily.
Old Dominion. I just didn't know. Reading skills, Old Dominion don't kind of go together.
Again, Mississippi State. How'd the Egg Bowl go? By the way, I didn't get to see that on Thursday. I was watching an NFL game.
It turned the omelets on. with spinach in it.
John Allen on the winning streak.
John Wick is his name.
Here's what John Wick Allen said. He goes, you don't reward a fish for swimming.
You don't. You don't.
Is that like in a fortune cookie? I like that.
No, that's a very Southern grandma thing to say. You just don't. You don't reward a like. That's just like somebody tell me, "Yeah, I'm the parent of the year." I'm not rewarding you for being a good parent. You agreed to do that when you had that child. Like being a good parent is just being a good parent, and he's right. At the end of the day, being a good football player, that's what got you to the NFL anyway. So now, can we be a good team? Right? Because y'all can beat 53 individuals, but can you be a good team? And that's what John Wick is talking about.
I liked it. He's not looking for a pat on the back, or they're not going to give out trophies right now for winning 3 in a row. But certainly, it's better than we were 5 weeks ago.
Oh, and then you got to realize, think about the games they feel like they left on the field. Green Bay, Kansas City Chiefs. If we beat them, yes, I felt like we left that game.
Stomped them.
Man, we left that game on the field.
If you didn't count the second half, it was a close game.
Yeah, there you go. If you don't count the Civil War, like, come on. At the end of the day,
they got murdered.
I feel like we gave that game away. I know you've never dressed up in a jock strap.
The Saints game. Okay, I might buy that from you.
Away.
I could give you that one on the Hail Mary, what have you. But look, the Chiefs game. There was 2 halves. There were 2 halves.
I'm sorry.
You have to play 60 minutes.
We gave that game away like Nino Brown on Christmas giving away turkeys. All right, that's what we did. Okay. I'm just telling you, Jack. I know you. Hey,
it's just loser talk, man. That's all right. I remember when you played.
What are you saying? What are you saying, Jack?
That's just kind of loser talk. We gave it away. No, you got your butt kicked. I mean, but it's okay. It happens. It's what right now, and you come out of that, right? And they gotten better. I mean, the defense again. I think it's a 5-week turnaround. What it's been is from there to Green Bay to Denver, and you can say, well, Denver, who are they? Well, they've actually had some really good wins over these last 3 weeks.
Some quality
they
wins.
won at Dallas. They kind of set Dallas in the spiral they're in, and then, of course, came back and beat the Chargers this past weekend. So, I give them credit. I mean, I think they're pretty good. So, again, defense is doing better. It's good because we thought they were going to be one of the top defenses in the league this year.
Yep.
Still got a long way to go to be there, but they won this game tonight.
Well, you know what? I want to give our quarterback some props because this is the most dressed up I've ever seen him. And he has a blazer on, an Old Dominion hoodie on, and also
is that an Old Dominion hoodie?
That is.
No, it's a Bud Light hoodie. It's a Bud Heineke.
Bud Heineke hoodie.
He does need to wear some college gear.
And he got a skull cap on. Yeah. So I like this guy. He's gritty. Yeah. He's blue collar. I can dig it, man. I know you like to hate on him all the time, and I show him love.
Listen to you.
I'm just telling you, man.
Oh, you're so full of it.
Hey, man, I'm dead
It's not even funny. Oh, boy. All right, we're going to set up some phone calls here in a bit, I swear. 301-230-0980, 301-230-0980. We'll get to that here coming up in a few minutes. And I'm not sure if we're going to have more from the locker room or not. We may. We may not.
I hope not. I doubt it. I don't think so.
2021 season and single game tickets for Washington football team are available now. Visit WashingtonFootball.com/tickets. Let's go back down to the locker room. D'Angelo Hall standing by. D-Hall.
What's going on? I'm joined down here by Logan Thomas. Bro, it was good to see you back out there, man. How did it feel?
It felt good. I felt a little rusty, but it felt good to get another W, keep this thing stacking.
Talk about them W's, 3 in a row. Get you back, get Curtis Samuels back in the fold. Man, how exciting can this offense be looking forward?
I mean, I think you see what we are as an offense. We kind of ground and pound, grind it out, and we make plays in the pass game when we need to. We've got a lot of athletes out there. We just try to use them.
Man, that was a physical football game out there. I mean, there was a lot of hitting going on both sides. I mean, you talked about getting some of that rushed off. How are you guys looking as far as just keeping this thing going forward? Are there anything, that you would like to see change or that you want to see, highlight moving forward?
I think we got to keep doing what we do. Obviously, mix up formation, mix up personnel, but what's working for us is the run game, man. We're getting our hands inside, moving people, and letting our backs who are super explosive and creative get in the holes and go.
You talk about that run game. We just had AG down here, 29 carries, over 100 yards. How prideful is it for this offensive line, you guys are at that tight end position, to move guys out the way for them? Because we in the booth saw a noticeable change that you guys were blowing them off the football, kind of crushing their will.
Well, yeah, especially when you have the time of possession like we did, and that helps with the run game.
Talk about that, 41 minutes to, I think, 16 or 18?
Yeah, I mean, you dominate a football game if you can do that, and that goes to the guys up front on both sides, honestly. And our defensive line did a great job, but I can talk about our offensive line all day, man.
And look, you talking about this offense, talking about this defense. They played lights out. I was a little nervous up there at the end of the game. How nervous were you when you saw that first onside kick, those guys get it, and then they get a legal procedure, and you're like, oh, here we go again?
Onside kicks, man, they're always a nerve-wracking thing, especially when you're not on the field. When you're on the field, you're a little less nervous.
I'm gonna be fighting to get you on the field because we gotta have the best hands. I was telling somebody, I'm up on the booth saying, hey, you gotta put your best guys with their hands on that front line because you know that ball is coming. And so to have Jordan Kanash out there, I like him, but I like you a little bit better.
I appreciate that, man, but I told Nate, if you need me, I'm there.
Well, I appreciate you, Logan, man. Thanks for stopping by. Can't wait to continue to watch you to dominate. Back up to you, Scott and Fred.
Like you a little bit better. Hey, Jack, you know what? I like everybody else I work with, but I like you a little bit better.
Well, I appreciate that.
All right.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, D-Hall is very nervous about that hands team, and rightfully like so after the first time we saw it, right?
I'm with D-Hall.
Yeah.
If you wear number 40s and 50s, I don't need you out there with me.
Right.
That's a job for single digits, 80s,
right.
DBs,
Right.
like people who
The
constantly
20s.
touch the ball.
Yeah.
When I seen 50 out there, I started cringing. They kicked the ball the first time, he lost it.
Yeah.
All right, they kicked the ball the second time, he dodged it like it was a dodgeball. Like, get 59 off of the hands team. Like, the one thing I tell people all the time, if you got hands the size of ants, you can't be on my hands team, and I think he got hands the size of ants.
All right. Thanks to D-Hall and Julie Donaldson for the post-game interviews. That'll be the wrap from the locker room. All right, coming up, we'll get to calls, 301-230-0990, your chance to weigh in. Scott Jackson and Fred Smith, we're on the YouTube if you want to check us out there for a few more minutes as well. Washington beats Seattle on Wednesday Monday Night Football game, although I'm not counting the Monday night streak. Sorry, everybody. Just because it wasn't scheduled on Monday night last year, it was a Monday night win at Pittsburgh, okay? I know it wasn't scheduled for Monday night, but it was a Monday night win at Pittsburgh.
We played it on Monday, right?
It was played on Monday.
That's all
and
that
I'm a
matters.
calendar person, so if it's on a Monday, it counts as a Monday for me, all right? I'm
That's
sorry.
what I'm saying.
Anyway, it was a first home win in forever on Monday night. I get that.
If his mama called him Clay, I'm going to call him Clay.
We'll be back with your calls next. You're listening to the Washington Football Team.
It's about.
I remember some other people, like not to name names, like Randy Thomas. He had the option to stay at home, and I think he said his wife wanted him to stay at home, but he stayed in the hotel anyway. So there was the option to stay in the hotel.
Speaking of Randy, it was one time Randy was hurt, right, and we had a players-only meeting, right. We were going through a rough patch. I think we might have lost one or two back-to-back, and Randy got hurt. I think it might have been an elbow or something, right? So had his procedure. He wanted to be around, so, we're having a players-only meeting. So Randy gets up, and he's like, you guys get to play football. I got to be home with my wife and kids. Everybody started laughing, but he was dead serious. He wanted to be out there on the field with us.
Well, to follow up with that real quick, I joined the team like a week after Randy tore his tricep.
Yeah, that's what it was, tricep.
So then I was getting ready to play, the dress, whatever. I see Randy taping up his fingers. I'm like, this guy is on IR, taping up his fingers. So that guy loved football.
Just wanted to be out there so bad.
We love our house. Been here for years.
Yeah, but there's an animal in the attic. At least Geico makes bundling our home and car insurance easy.
We save a lot.
For bundling made easy, go to geico.com.
It's about grit. It's about guts. It's about winning. It's about where we come from and what we can be. It's about DC and celebrating our football team. With the Washington Football Team Scratcher from the DC Lottery, you can win up to $50,000, as well as some exciting second chance opportunities. And you can continue your winning experience at DCILottery.com.
Second and goal from the 10. McKissick's in the backfield. Inside handoff to McKissick. Flies through the center of the line. Dives to the goal line. Touchdown! Touchdown, Washington! A second of the game for J.D. McKissick.
What a game for him. Twice in the end zone, twice up with the stands, and absolutely loving it.
I mean, J.D. is just a different kind of back. I mean, just the quick feet, the change of direction, the acceleration up the hole, and he's excited. I don't know about everybody else, but J.D. McKissick excited to be on Monday night right now.
He should be.
17-15 final. Washington holds off Seattle. Welcome back. Official postgame show. Scott Jackson, Fred Smoot with you. 301-230-0980. J.D. McKissick, 2 touchdowns, and then a concussion, unfortunately.
Yeah, they usually come with 2 touchdowns on Monday night. You know, it happens.
Hopefully we'll be okay sooner rather than later.
Don't look bad because they said he was talking, walking around, laughing in the locker room. That tells me a lot.
That's good news. But he was terrific tonight. Obviously, Gibson was very good. You got a really good night, obviously, from that offensive line with their 4th center of the season, Keith Ishmael. Number 60 came and did a really solid job for them after Wes Schweitzer went out with that injury early.
It's truly next man up. Like sometimes teams say that.
Right.
They are proving this. Because this is what we're seeing from the Dallas Cowboys. They pay so much for their front end guys that they don't got no guys to come step in and back these guys up. So now we're seeing them fracture and fall apart because they got 1 or 2 offensive linemen missing, 1 or 2 D linemen missing, and now they ain't got people to fill, not quality people, to fill in the gap like a Shaka Toney. Shaka Toney coming there making the plays. James Smith-Williams making plays.
How about Wise tonight? Wise was flashing, man.
Yes, he was. Hey, making plays. Jamin Davis today
looked
making
really
plays.
good.
Landon Collins making plays. Hey, and what I liked about my defensive backfield, steady.
Yeah.
Steady today.
Couple blown coverages early on Lockett, and obviously the last one where Wilson climbs the pocket to Swain. You can't have that happen, but that happened.
Not with 30, 40 seconds left. You just cannot.
That's unforgivable. But, again, Kendall Fuller makes the play of the game later on, and we'll hear that play later as well. All right, let's get to calls. 301-230-0980. Bones, go ahead. You're with us here on the official postgame show.
Hey, Scott, what's going on, Freddie Smoot? Man, this was a good game, a good win. Heineke, man, is developing to his own style of playing the QB1. Man, this was awesome, man. This was definitely, and that defense, that's a totally different defense from the defense they had, the first 8 games. This defense they had the last 3 games, I call them next man up. That's what they is, next man up. Man. Thanks for taking my call, man. Y'all have a wonderful day.
All right, thanks, Bones.
I think the fans just got to feel good with just winning on Monday night, though.
Sure.
We've had this black cloud over our face. Thank God I ain't had nothing to do with it. But,
Dude, you were in some of the worst Monday night games in the history of this franchise.
Well, all I'm saying is this. I know it just feels good to get that win in prime time because the only show in town, people like to rub losses in more when it's on prime time. Let's see how many of them haters call us today.
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you who I like to run into this week. I like to run into a couple Cowboys fans this week. Because, just 2 weeks ago, they was buying Super Bowl tickets.
Well, and they were calling this show just to be obnoxious.
Cowboy Dan was calling the show just because he had nothing to do. He had nothing to do.
All right, so here was the streak. The Washington, if you don't count the Steelers game, which is stupid, whatever, had lost 8 straight scheduled Monday night games. How about that? Washington's now 3-17 on Monday night at FedEx Field. Washington's last Monday night win before tonight here at FedEx, or last Monday night win period of like a regularly scheduled Monday night game, was 2014 at Dallas. Washington's last Monday night home win at FedEx Field was part of that 2012 run with RG3 and crew and Alfred Morris. So 2012 against the Giants. I remember that game. And that was a tight one. It was kind of like this. It was ugly. It was like a 17-16-ish kind of game before they crushed Dallas in the Sunday nighter and rushed for over 200 yards and getting to the postseason. But anyway, so there you go. Those are the ugly statistics that are kind of out the window. Here's what I was telling people this week when they're going, oh, God, Monday night, Scott, what are you going to do? I go, look, Ron Rivera, since he's been the coach here, when they've been in primetime games, and I count the Monday nighter that wasn't scheduled. I count the Cowboys on Thanksgiving. I count those kind of games because they are primetime games. The Giants game earlier this year.
Primetime game.
Primetime game, okay, and now this one. They've shown up. They've shown up every single time. They haven't blown out. No. In the Buccaneers game, in the playoffs, which they lost.
Yeah.
Granted, they lost.
They didn't get blown out.
But they didn't get blown out and embarrassed, right?
Yep.
So they've shown up in those moments, the big games, when he's created this big week thing. And I know he tries to say every week's the same, but we know that's not true, especially the way they dress.
Most definitely the way they dress.
They wore burgundy on burgundy tonight. You couldn't lose wearing those uniforms. Fred's teams could have, because they did. But, I mean, this team couldn't.
Hey, shut up, hater. Hey, check this out. Yes, I am the father of the color rush for the Washington team. I talked one Joseph Gibbs into letting us wear burgundy on burgundy.
And then what happened?
Burgundy. We lost.
Did he just crush you for that?
No.
Did he go, we're going back to the Super Bowl uniforms, the white and the burgundy pants?
No, Coach was like, actually, I like it. I think
really?
Because we looked intimidating.
Right.
The darker colors on darker colors make you look more intimidating and actually make you look a little bit faster. So, yes, I like that they came out in the color rush. Because you know what I had to get fined, Jack, for this? For these kids to wear these uniforms? I had to get fined $10,000 a game for me to come out in that all maroon. So, yes, I made the sacrifice for they can shine.
Burgundy, by the way, there.
Burgundy.
Coach Zorn.
Maroon
and black, all right? All right, 301-230-0980. Let's get to Rev T. What's happening, Rev?
Oh, man, I'm telling you, Scott Jackson and Fred Smoot, man, you know you owe me a bottle of Hennessy, Fred. Don't make me have to treat you.
I do.
Hey, see, man, you my bro.
Hennessy anytime.
Yes. And for the holidays, Fred, I'm drinking cognac.
I got you, Rev. I got you.
In the good medicinals. They say we can do it now in Virginia. But listen, let me tell y'all something about FedEx Field. Let me tell you something about FedEx Field tonight, y'all. I started to see the people, right? I done seen the people jump off the ship, jump back on the ship, jump off the ship. But tonight, Monday night, underneath the bright lights, FedEx Field was real. The 12th man was real. So while y'all talk about the X and O's, Fred Smoot and Scott Jackson, I just want to say to the 12th man, I love y'all. Because in the final minutes, in the final hours, you know I always be talking about this. I be saying what? Stand with that burgundy gold power. I saw it from the young. Stand with that burgundy gold power. I saw the middle age. Stand with that burgundy gold power. I saw a lovely old couple, man. Every game they sit up there. I want to be like them when I get older. Husband and wife, I love them so much. They stand with that burgundy gold power. So as I leave y'all, I say this, y'all. I tell it to the eye. I tell it to the cold. You got to keep believing in the burgundy gold. Believe in the offense. Believe in the defense. Believe in the special team. But most of all, believe in us, the 12th man. Believe. Y'all know who this is. At DC Hype Man. Say it with me, Scott Jackson, Fred. Rev T.
Hail to the Washington. Hail to the Washington.
All right. Look, he brought up the thing about the 12th man. That's a really good point because tonight
the energy was there.
Gerald Everett tried a Lambeau leap. Did you see what happened? The fan base, they pushed him back. They denied him. He was denied.
He should have been denied, and they should have drenched him in alcohol, just like they did me at Green Bay when I tried the Lambeau leap.
A fan wearing a number 52 Washington jersey. So like that, did somebody have a Jamin Davis jersey?
They had a Jamin Davis on.
Or was that an old school one?
No, that was new blood. It can only be a Jamin Davis or a Rocky McIntosh. We haven't had, a 52 around here prevalent like that beside those two.
Neil Olkowitz would have been a pick. Yeah, Neil Olkowitz. You wouldn't know. I mean, he was on championship teams.
Why do he sound like that he do taxes? He sound like a guy. Yeah, I'm going to send you the knee.
Nah, he just was on Super Bowl teams. You wouldn't get it. I'll explain it to you later. I'll send you some of my old DVDs. You'll see. I'll send you some of the DVDs. All right, 301-230-0980. Let's get back to the phones and going next to Tim. Tim, thanks for waiting. How you doing?
Hi, Scott and Fred. Thanks for taking my call.
You got it.
Really excited with the win. I on the whole, I love Scott Turner's play calling, probably with two caveats. The third and short just does not seem to be working we should have a little slightly better conversion rate last year with Barber, who had that role of just gaining what we needed. That seemed to work. I understand fully why we moved on from him, but what we're doing now isn't working as well as it should. And Barber's actually playing with the Raiders now, so we're going to face him next.
Yeah.
Also, I thought we could improve on our red zone. We seem to get kind of conservative, and that would have eased if we had been more successful. Seattle's really difficult to play that way. But on other
Seattle's
things,
got a really good red zone defense, which is weird.
They're number 7 in red zone defense, and they number 30th in total defense. So you can drive on them, but they don't let you score. Now, let me ask you this. What are you happy with? Because I ain't heard nothing but complaints. Are you happy with anything tonight?
Oh, he said he's happy with most of the plays.
I'm happy with – I really, an unsung hero for me is DeAndre Carter. I mean, that guy – from where my expectations was and how he's able to just catch the ball so reliably, it's just awesome. Just fantastic. Just gives us another option out there, and he just holds on to the ball each time. So that's really impressive.
All right.
So,
hey, thanks for the call,
with
Tim.
the win.
You have a good one.
Yeah, thanks,
you got it, buddy. Thanks for the call.
Tim.
I thought that, Scott did a good job, using their aggressive pass rush against him for a while there when he was,
You got to give Scott some props.
Yeah, I thought he did a lot of good things tonight.
He's been ice cold lately. He's been calling some great plays. He's getting the ball into people's hands that he wants to get it into, and that's the biggest thing as offensive coordinator. You know who you want to get it to, but can you get it done? And we talked about it last week. No screens to Antonio Gibson, XY receiver. Yeah, he caught a couple of them tonight, so you got to love that. But Tim, our fan that just called in, he sounds like he eats pumpkin pie.
Oh, wow. Hey, Curtis Samuel, they kind of just used him in spots, but he was out there enough to be probably impacted the defense some, right? Because they had to account for him.
When he's coming across there, I seen him line up in the backfield. I just seen him run without thinking. And that's what I need to see when you talk about.
He took a big hit on that first run.
Yeah,
he took a really good hit. He tried to get everybody charged up after that.
Yeah, but when you can see a guy not really thinking about it, that means I feel good. They told me a lot about him. He feel good. Now it's just about him getting in game shape. One.
Sure.
Second, he getting on the same level as Heineke. Here, Heineke, I like my ball right here. I know Terry like his right here on this route. I like mine right here on this route. That's a relationship. I know you don't know nothing about relationships. Yeah, but you are married. But relationships,
my relationships tend to last a little longer than yours, just saying.
Well, what are you trying to say? Because I'm divorced, I'm wrong? What
I meant because you were a free agent and you left this city. That's what I meant.
Of course you weren't talking about that. All right? Mr. Brett married me.
All right, let's get to David next. David, thanks for waiting. You're next up on the official postgame show.
Thank you guys for taking my call. But, gentlemen, oh, my gosh, 3 weeks in a row. Happy to say Washington win for three weeks in a row. It's crazy. Oh, my gosh. You don't get to hear that often. But, anyway, I have two bold predictions.
All right, go ahead.
I'm sorry?
Yeah, go ahead.
I didn't hear you.
No, I said just
I
go
thought
ahead.
I heard somebody. Excuse me. Taylor Heineke, oh, my goodness. He's been able to just evade so much pressure, especially this evening, even in the Panthers, especially starting since Tampa Bay. Oh, my gosh. It was just intense. But anyways, I haven't seen as much hope in a quarterback for maybe a short term. I'm not thinking long-term future just yet, but I haven't seen entertainment in a QB from Washington this much since Kirk Cousins. That might be somewhat bold. I don't know if you disagree.
Fred doesn't like that at all.
No, he didn't. He gone off Kirk.
Yep.
No, he did. Did he say that?
Yes, I did.
Entertainment?
Yes,
I don't know
did.
if I ever thought entertainment with Kirk, but
Kirk
interesting.
was not entertaining.
He was
Let me tell you what Kirk
steady.
was.
He was steady.
He's just like it is. He gets you on such a high.
Very steady.
And then he just drop you to the lowest of the lows.
All we had since Kirk Cousins was basically a running football game. And if we got in field goal
because you
range,
haven't met a girl better than your last girl, don't make her better. Like, we holding on to Kirk like he was the Holy Grail. Guess how many playoff games Kirk done won since he been in Minnesota after they almost made it to the Super Bowl? As many games as a dead man.
No, he won one.
So, hey, one. Oh, excuse me.
Yeah,
But they
man.
thought they had a Super Bowl winning quarterback. Like, let's be honest.
Thank you for the call, Santo. Or was that David right there?
If we was talking about sodas and drinks, Coke is Kirk Cousins is a Faygo. You know what a Faygo soda is? You probably don't know because you ain't never lived in the hood, Jack, but it's cheap. All right? It's cheap. All right? That's what it is.
I thought Fanta was cheap.
Fanta, they stepped their game up.
RC's really.
Yeah. Now, RC Cola is for, if somebody drink RC Cola, they 70-plus years old, and they dip snuff.
It's like syrup, it's like really not good.
My grandma used to drink RC Cola. Like, old people can handle stuff. Think about it. Old people never worked out.
Yeah,
they didn't know what gluten was.
True.
None of this, and they still live to be 105. So now that we taking care of ourselves, why ain't we living to be 105? Because that generation was tougher than us, Jack.
Probably so. All right, we'll hear a little bit from Ron Rivera coming up. We'll grab the straggler phone calls as well. Official post-game show, a 17-15 win for Washington.
Yep.
Kendall Fuller, the ceiling two-point conversion interception, and then a couple scary onside kicks. End it as Washington now goes to Vegas at 5-6, looking to get to 500 next weekend.
500.
This is the Washington Football Team Radio Network.
Oh, hello. Just brushing up on some light reading. Today I'm going to talk about some football terms that are common but might not be so common to the average fan. So let's talk about the variations in offensive positions. First off, let's talk about your Z wide receiver. This is the receiver that usually lines up to the same side as the tight end, who is the Y here, right? Y is when you're calling a play as an offensive coordinator, usually dictates the strength of the formation, the offensive formation, right? Z usually pairs here. Obviously now in today's NFL, they can line up all over the different places based on calls, but this is the basic start of this, right? F is your adjuster. He can line up here as your second tight end. He can line up here as your fullback. He's your jack of all trades, master of none. Usually have multiple different guys playing these different roles. Receiver, tight end, fullback type body type here. X is your stud. In this offense here in Washington, it's Terry McLaurin, right? He's the guy that would line up by himself in isolation, and you feel really good about him winning a one-on-one matchup. And obviously you have your H, which is your halfback or your running back, and your quarterback, which is right here. He's the guy that gets the whole thing started.
Hey Washington fans, Alex Strymel from Box is here to tell you that you don't have to wait for the big game anymore to get in on the action. With Box's free-to-play games, you can pick boxes every day and win huge prizes across all your favorite sports. All you have to do is pick a box, match your numbers, and win. So download the app now and start playing today. Games are completely free, and players can win official Washington Football Team merchandise and other great prizes all season long. Boxes, it's anyone's game.
Has to go for 2 for the tie. 15 seconds to go in the game. Wilson's in the gun. Dallas to his right. 2 wide receivers to the right, 2 to the left. Wilson, right leg up and down, takes the snap. Plenty of time. Surveying, looks over the middle. That is thrown into the end zone and is picked off. Kendall Fuller picked it off. And Washington maintains their lead. Now they just need to survive a kickoff.
What a time to get an interception.
K-Full, go get the football, young man. Great play right there by Kendall Fuller to come down with that football.
Electrifying play of the game brought to you by the International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers, Local Union 26. Visit ibewlocal26.org for more information. Kendall Fuller, big play at 3 pass defenses on the night as well. Really solid game from Kendall Fuller in the Washington win over Seattle by the final of 17-15.
Picked off Mr. Wilson, and when I hear the name Mr. Wilson, it makes me think of the Tom Hanks in the movie Castaway.
Yeah, the coconut he kept. Yeah, I was talking.
No, the basketball Wilson.
The basketball. Oh yeah, the basketball.
The basketball Wilson.
That's right.
And that's what it was. And I just love the fact that we finally ruined somebody's birthday.
Yeah, that's right. It was Russell Wilson's birthday. Yeah,
it was Russell's birthday. He was coming back home. Yeah. A lot of people don't realize he's a Southern VA kid. And I know he
I think a lot of people realize it. I think a lot of people want him to come home, if you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, I understand. and Sierra, she was crying right by the Washington Memorial, and she watched us get beat. But, at the end of the day, that's what you're supposed to do. You aren't supposed to take no mercy on anybody. Anytime it's somebody's birthday or something, that's even more reason to beat them.
Sweep the leg.
And I like this team, man. That's why I had to give my boy a new nickname. His name is no longer Jonathan Allen. It's John Wick. All right? John Wick.
All right. Ron Rivera's nickname is Riverboat Ron. Tonight, people thought he was being conservative at times, perhaps, but he knew his defense obviously had the goods tonight.
And he knew his kicker was hurt.
And he also had an injured kicker. Let's get to Ron Rivera's presser, a little bit of it, brought to you by the Maryland Lottery. Here's the coach.
How did you think Keith held up the center?
Oh, I thought Keith did a nice job. He really did. He's a technician. He plays with his hands well. He moves his feet well, and he can position very nicely. He's a guy that plays with leverage, so he did a nice job. You saw him IDing some of the protections, and that's a big thing to ask of a young guy, and for him to come through and do what he did, that was awesome.
With the win, you guys are in the playoffs if they started today. Is that something you address with the team, that you're in that hunt now?
No. What we talked about was really about positioning. We've got one more game, and then we've got the 5-game round robin. I mean, we're going to have to, take on the Raiders and get ready for them, and then we'll worry about the next 5 games.
What do you make of? You're pretty much in that position though. Like even if you don't win all 5 of the games like you maybe needed to earlier in the year, you're still in this position. So what do you make of the hole that you guys dug yourself out of?
Well, we're not out of it completely, but unfortunately, it was about learning and growing, and it was all part of the process that we've had to go through to develop as a team. I mean, it really wasn't going to happen overnight. I mean, I know last year, and a lot of people I talked about early, and people got upset with me, but that's ball. I mean, it's just the way it is. That's the truth of the matter. And just being honest. I think we're coming together and being the kind of team that we envisioned. And if we can continue to work and play the way we've played, we give ourselves a chance, and that's all we need is a chance.
There are some teams that, when they hit adversity, they bounce back. For yourself, being able to turn teams around later in the season, previous season, do you kind of have that same type of, I don't want to call it like a swagger for yourself, but to know that you can turn people around?
Well, I wouldn't say that, Darren. I think it's just, when you work hard and the guys do the things that we ask and it starts to come, then you see it because of that, because of what we've done. I don't think there's a real magic formula as much. It's just about working hard. I mean, if you watch the way they practice, I know you guys can't, but if you saw it, it's impressive. It really is. I've had, when we've had the production crews that come and they watch practice, they watch the Friday practice, and they go, you guys are, ready. Well, that's what I learned from Andy Reid. I mean, Friday is an important day, and we got to practice the right way, and the guys do that. And we've done it all year, and now I think we're starting to see it come together.
Ron, what do you think about Taylor's performance?
I thought Taylor was sharp. There were a couple things I know he'd like to have back. The one he threw to Logan that got intercepted, he was late on it, and he knows he was. Part of the problem was Bobby Wagner rolled underneath perfectly and forced him to pump it once and then try to throw it, and by then it was late. If he had thrown that earlier, Bobby might have knocked it down, but he tried to force it. That's probably one of the big mistakes he made all day. Other than that, I thought he was solid. He managed the game the way we needed it managed, and then he made a couple plays when we needed the plays made.
Before J.D. McKissick went out of the game, I'm just curious, before J.D. McKissick went out of the game with the injury, what did you think of his contributions? Randy Jordan said he's one of the best pass-catching running backs.
Oh, he really is. I think he's one of the most versatile guys in the league. I mean, he's a threat first, second, or third down. He's a guy that really, you want to have there as much as possible, and he's a resilient player.
All right, there you go. A little bit of Ron Rivera after the win tonight, 17-15 the final. And Coach said, look, part of it starts with practice preparation, and, of course, we don't get to see any of the good stuff. So
I get to see
we'll take his word for it. Yeah, well, you do because you're an official alum.
Yeah.
Taylor Heineke, by the way, 27-35, 223 yards, touchdown, and a pick. If you had him in fantasy tonight, catch you some points. Antonio Gibson would have been the guy to have 111 yards rushing, another 35 receiving. Didn't get in the end zone. 2 touchdowns tonight for J.D. McKissick if you were, going into the deeper league tonight. Seahawks. Big fantasy guy. I mean, hey, Russell Wilson still had 247 and 2 TDs.
Most of that came in the last
but
2 minutes.
But we're talking fantasy football tonight. Tyler Lockett, 3 for 96. Fantasy Spotlight brought to you by FanDuel Sportsbook. Download the app today and make every moment more. But in the reality of football, Washington won 17-15.
In the reality of football, I have a quarterback that's went toe-to-toe with Aaron Rodgers.
Right.
Beat Tom Brady.
Right.
Beat Cam Newton on the road. Came back and beat Russell Wilson.
Yes.
If I told you this about a quarterback,
yes.
And it was just a silhouette there,
sure.
black, you don't know who the guy is, you'd be like,
sure.
oh, that's top 5, top 10 quarterback.
Right.
It's Heineke.
Yeah.
Right? He continues to just get the job done. He don't go after the game and talk trash like, oh, it was all me.
Right.
No, we did it. We done it. Like I told you before, at least this dude then showed you I am a top 30 quarterback in this league.
Oh, yeah. I mean, well, he's been in the middle part of the league. I think it's like 15 in that area all year, and you get 32 starters, and obviously guys that have been teams that play multiple quarterbacks, including this team who had to play, he was the second guy.
Yep.
Not that Fitzpatrick played a whole lot. But, yeah, look, he belongs like I said before, he belongs in the league. We have to have this conversation every weekend about, oh, my God, is he going to be here forever? No, I don't know that. I just know that he's going to be there next week, and I think, best case scenario, he's your quarterback the rest of the season, because if he's not, that means something terribly has gone wrong. Whether it's his health or play. So, yeah, I think he's through the year. And the way his contract is structured, he's going to be part of your team next year. And you don't have to feel like you got to panic like some of these other teams did in the offseason. We've gone through this thing about the Panthers overspending. Yeah. We've gone through this thing. I mean, right now, do you feel really great if you're the Rams? I mean, I mean, seriously.
You went and got a quarterback that never won a playoff game.
Well, guess what? The 49ers in this role, guess what? They're rolling with the guy they're supposed to get rid of at the end of the year. How awkward is that? I mean, so you got all these things going on, and like your team, the Vikings, I know you love Kirk and all, but I mean,
what are you talking about?
They win and then they lose, and they win and they lose. They win these weird games, lose these weird games, right?
Beat the team they not supposed to beat.
Yeah.
Go beat the team they supposed to beat.
So,
but like I said, the math is odd. 8 billion people on Earth. We never had 32.
Do you think people called WIP in Philadelphia today were really positive about Jalen Hurts and his future as the Eagles quarterback?
I am.
But do you know what I'm saying, though? So look, we go through all this hand-wringing here, and the Giants still don't know if Daniel Jones is worth a crap.
His name too regular.
Right. Like
I told you about regular name athletes.
Right. And the one team that's really put a ring on their quarterback in this division's Dallas, and rightfully
he's
so.
Not hefty.
And he's kind of gimpy right now.
He's kind of gimping around. Yeah. I promise you, if the Kentucky Fried Chicken of Philadelphia released or trade Jalen Hurts, that will be the single most stupid thing that they do. And especially this, Jack.
Yeah.
We watch this happen every year. This is not a quarterback draft. We still gonna get 5 quarterbacks.
Absolutely,
in the
they do this every year. Every year we say it isn't.
You force your hand to go draft a quarterback. I'm sorry, if one not there, one not there. Now maybe I got a project in this draft class. I ain't got a day one starter in this draft class. So if you ain't gonna be a day one starter, I ain't spending no first round pick on you.
All right, let's get to a few more calls before we break. Let's get to Santo. Santo, thanks for waiting.
Hey Scott, Fred, how y'all doing?
Yeah, Santo. Good. How you doing?
How you doing,
I'm sorry. Is this Kevin?
Yeah,
I'm sorry, Kevin. Go ahead. My bad.
Now, this is Santo.
Oh, this is Santa. Okay. All right. Sorry. Oh, no. I'm sorry. The other caller dropped. My bad. I'm misreading Anthony's thing. Sorry, Santa. Go ahead. I'll get it straight some night.
Yeah,
And no worries, all love.
my teammate.
So I was at I was at FedEx tonight. I'm sitting there watching everything, and I think one thing that's been slightly underrated. You look at Denver's game, and it was painful to watch, but I feel that Ron didn't allow them to just kick the ball anywhere. I think he wanted them to prove their point because we can move the ball. We just weren't getting into the end zone. And now you can see that we're moving the ball, but it's being consistent of putting points up on the board. When you look at what Heineke is doing, he's spreading the ball out. He's not telegraphing any particular passes. And what's happening between the defense and the offense is the offense is starting to have a little bit more time on the field, which means the defense has got a lot less time on the field.
Yep.
But the defense has always proved to be able to smack the other team in the mouth when it came time. Now that they're a little more rested, and even with tonight's injuries, it shows that both offense and defense are maturing. They're starting to trust each other a little bit more. They're staying focused. Even after 2 injuries, it's crushing. It's tough to deal with. But just like a good quarterback, you got to be able to put that in the back of your mind, get on with the next play, and crunch down. And that's what you're seeing. And the defense and the offense are both starting to move a little bit faster. When you see them against Tampa Bay is not a real fast offense. It's a steady offense, doesn't make a whole lot of mistakes. When you look at Kansas City, they're an explosive offense and speed, a little tough to keep up with sometimes. But if you're playing ahead of them and you got a good game plan, you can only get better. And now that you see the offense on the field, it's a little bit of an experiment, but they're figuring out what works. And even if a little bit of it is unorthodox, you're mixing it up, you're getting your runs in, you're punching, you're converting. How many conversions tonight? 20-something? It was ridiculous. I mean, but, man, it's beautiful. But now you're getting to see an offense on the field that in the past, I don't care, you talk, the gentleman that mentioned the quarterback earlier. Anyway, you're looking at an offense that's on the field that's actually getting play time. Practice is one thing, Fred, you can agree, but the game time moments is when you need to find out who you are, what you're made of, and what works and what doesn't. And we already know what wasn't working. Now we're starting to figure out what is working. And I think it's beautiful. I think Ron is doing what he needs to do. I think the team is starting to believe more in Heineke. And I think Heineke is starting to trust his receivers a little bit more, not just telegraphing a pass, but if you watched him tonight, he was going through his
better
read.
feel for the offense.
Yeah,
He's got a better feel for the offense.
The offensive line is protecting them. And anytime somebody feel protected, just like your wife, if she feels safe, she'll love you a lot more. And guess what? He loves them a lot more because they're keeping his jersey clean and they keeping him protected. They protecting the running backs. I'm telling you right now, the offensive line is the MVP of this team. They are keeping the defense fresh. They're keeping the quarterback upright, and they're keeping the running back's jersey clean. That's all you can ask from them.
All right, Santo, thanks, buddy. We got to move. Let's get to Kevin. Kevin, go ahead.
What's good, Scott? What's good, Fred? Smooth. What up? Hey, man. I've been doing this. Man, I've been doing this since I was 2 years old. I've been so glad that they've been winning because these haters, I'm tired of these haters and these fair weather fans and these bandwagon fans. Look here, this team is battle tested. I've been saying it all year when I saw the schedule that this team is battle tested. They are the only team in the NFL to play the semifinalists from East Conference. They played Green Bay, they played Tampa Bay, they played Kansas City, and they played Buffalo. This team is battle-tested. On one end, defensively, they've seen every elite quarterback that you would name in your top 4. Defensively, how many top 10 defenses have they played? Okay? And this team takes me back to in 2012 to 2013, when Robert Griffin III goes down with that knee injury, we have been looking to get back to that day for all these years. And Taylor gives us something. I don't care about his height. I don't care about he doesn't have the arm strength of Mahomes or Josh Allen. I don't give a damn about that. What he is a gamer. And the dude goes out there and he plays and he took our hearts. He won our hearts in that Tampa Bay playoff game. And that's what matters. And this team right here will be a dangerous team with that offensive line playing bully ball like that and that defensive line being tough as nails because you're not going to run on Payne, Allen, Ioannidis, and Big Tim Setter. You're just not going to run like that for a living. So what that's going to get you in is a bunch of third and longs or third and mediums, and you better convert them. Because if you get his ball right back to them, they're going to play bully ball. Gibson, man, tonight reminded me of Riggins with counter track.
Oh, a Riggins.
And you know, all you got to do is hold on to the ball.
Yep.
He reminded me of the Diesel Dogs tonight, man.
They had a little
and
bit of the
these last
Diesel
3
drill
weeks,
going. Yeah.
you know,
They did.
so
They had a little diesel
that's all I have to
drill
say,
going.
man. Hey,
All right, Mike, thanks for the
hell,
call.
you know what I'm saying?
You got it.
You say
Thanks,
a
Kevin.
diesel. I don't know if you've been to the gas pump lately, Jack, but diesel
Yeah.
got to cost $5 a gallon.
All of it costs $5 a gallon.
John Riggins driving a electric car right now. All right? That's just how high gas is. Yeah, I'm telling you now.
All right, let's pause 10 seconds for station identification. This is the Washington Football Team Radio Network.
This is the official home of the Washington Football Team. WTEM Washington, WJFK HD2 Manassas, the T980, an Odyssey station.
Washington beats Seattle tonight on Monday Night Football, 17-15. First Monday night win at FedEx Field since 2012 for the Washington Football Team. First scheduled Monday night win on the original schedule since 2015 in Dallas, even though we all know that they won, or 2014 in Dallas, excuse me, although we all know that they actually won a Monday Night Football game last year that wasn't originally scheduled for Monday night.
Hey, it don't matter. It was played on a Monday.
Right.
I'm going to call it a Monday. All right, that's just what it is. Like, sometimes we overthink things.
I know we do. All right, I'm just telling you because these stats nerds just started hammering you. All right, hey, for all you that have been watching us on the YouTube, thank you. Appreciate that. We're going to continue on without the YouTubers here for another hour. We'll take a break. We'll come back, get to more of the post game, some locker room react as well. 17-15 win over Seattle. This is the Washington Football Team Radio Network.
Everything we need is in this room. Everybody in this room we need. We've got to work together, stay together, and be the team that we can be. We will not take it from anybody. I don't give a shit how they stack it against us. We're whipping it. Now let's play football. Here we go. Team on three. 1, 2, 3. Team!